to my channel, Appealing Book Reviews, and today I will be going over You, Your Baby, and Pregnancy. It's your ultimate week-by-week pregnancy guide by Dr. Laura Riley, OBGYN, and I will go over like key points of everything, and I will break this book down into like 3 to 4 parts. No more than 4 parts, but I will try to break it down into 3 parts, like a 3-part series, because it is a thick book. But however, today I will go over 1 through 11 weeks, like what to expect and key points. Okay, it tells a little bit about the author, Laura Riley, and it gives about her being a medical director in labor delivery in Boston, Massachusetts, and she's a mother of 2 daughters. So that's a little information before I go into the book, of little information about her. She is a medical doctor in a labor delivery in Boston, Massachusetts, and she has 2 daughters. Okay, now we will go into the book. And it talks about in the book life before birth. Although you know your belly is expanding day by day, some days can feel like the baby is stretching and moving about. Don't wish you could clearly what's going on inside of your body. And it has a photograph of the baby, and I will show it in the next. Week 1 through 4 is telling that it's time to like take the vitamins and exercise, like if you're at risk for obesity and smoking, alcohol. But week 1 through 4, the first days of life, is when it's time to do that with the vitamins and exercise. Okay, we will go more into. Okay, in this picture, this is life with 8 days, like the baby is like 8 days old. And this picture is an embryo of an implanted to the uterus, and it's 8 days old. Stage of life. Oh, it's saying it may not be, well, it has a picture of top of it being 8 days old, but it say right here the stage of life could be like 46 days. Embryo, which is less than 1 inch long, it's like 1 inch long, and it's the blood journeys from through the vessels to the umbilical cord. So I'm not sure if it's the stage of life is 8 days or stage of life 46 days, because it has 2 little parts by the picture. So not sure, but it's attached to the umbilical cord. Now we'll go more into the book, some more information, because today we're going to be covering 1 through 11 weeks. It has different pictures of the stages of the baby, so that was just on one picture. It has other little different pictures of the stages of the baby too. So one could be one thing and another one can be another one. Because from these pictures that I'm seeing right here, which I probably will put at the end of the recording, it's saying this one is 13 weeks and another one is 17 weeks, but they are different pictures. They said with this picture right here, the baby is 36 weeks, and it won't be long until the baby is born. The baby will be born during the next few weeks, and it's finishing developing all the last organs it needs to mature by now to learn, prepare, and it's learning how to like suck on his thumb and all that stuff. But this baby is coming in within a couple of weeks. The first and second week, feel you may not feel a thing, but you're experiencing a transformation of your eggs into your embryo, and the terms are using of your body changing during the first weeks of pregnancy sound clinical but necessary, describing the complex process of the baby growth during a first week. You're shedding in your urine line and preparing to make a new one. And of course, can be no baby without fertilized egg, with that requires the partner sperms, typically millions of sperms that is ejaculated into your vagina. Only a few hundreds will make it into your fallopian tubes. They can race on their way upwards towards the egg, and the sperm can live inside the woman's body for long as 6 weeks. It's kind of like the movie when Look Who's Talking. Actually, it was discussed with us in school through family life when we was in school. They discussed it with us, and what they did was they showed the movie Look Who's Talking to prepare us for, let us know what's going on, and how people get pregnant and all that. But they had the movie Look Who's Talking, and they showed all the sperms going, millions and millions of sperms going into the egg. So when she talks about this in the book, how it's describing 1 week through the fourth week, how it's going into the egg, it reminds me of what they discussed with us doing family life, to educate us on stuff like this. I wanted to correct a mistake. It stays in the woman's body for as long as 6 days, not 6 weeks, but 6 days. That was just a mistake on my part. I thought I corrected. Week 3, your fertilized egg, which is now an embryo, continues moving to your fallopian tube and growing. So it's still growing. And the fourth week, don't be nervous. It is an experience with spotting at this time. So you're starting maybe to spot for the fourth week. A small amount of bleeding, which is normal for the baby cells to continue to multiply, with the tissues growing and the uterus establishing and contacting with your circulation and with more of your blood, like your blood supply. So it's completely normal for that to happen. That's fourth week. Now it talks about your body clues that you are pregnant. Like if you miss a period, would be probably your first sign of pregnancy. And next one is getting proof, like get a home pregnancy test. These are just clues to know whether you are pregnant, your body. Now it has a segment when it talks about moms to be that have like pre-existing diabetes, and it talks about how it will be like more complicated for people that have like diabetes. They have to be like more extra careful with pre-existence diabetes. You just have to be more careful because you'll be more like of a high risk of a miscarriage. So you just have to be like careful, because I'm quite sure some people with even with pregnancy, just pregnancy all around, I think you just have to be more careful. Now it talks about fragile factor. The good news is you may feel more energetic by your second trimester. or by the bad news is you're going to feel more tired until then. So it just talks about that and your hormones. And it has another part where it says your self reaction to being pregnant, no matter how to prepare your thoughts with your partner where for parenthood, reality of being pregnant may lead to joy, panicking, different approach to. Don't be surprised if your moods are all over the place for pregnancy. Just telling how to deal with being pregnant. Don't be so anxious of being pregnant or worried. And telling your partner the news of the pregnancy over like a candlelight dinner. And then it has a part where it talks about sex. Through it may seem like sex during, though it may seem like pregnancy throws your entire life into an up-heavy one. It doesn't change now your sex life unless your doctor told you to refrain from intercourse or sex where it may harm the baby. So I guess you really, before even doing any kind of sexual activity, you probably need to talk with your doctor to make sure it's okay. Most healthy women work throughout their pregnancy without any impact with the baby, unless the pregnancy is related to symptoms like job performance during your first 4 weeks of being like fragile while working, and workplace hazards. Like pregnant women need to look into like the workplace with new eyes. Make sure you have like a safe environment for the pregnancy. So make sure you don't harm or develop, with developing the fetus. Doesn't your work require you to use pants and chemicals, carbon oxides? You just want to make sure that everything is safe, like the workplace hazard. Now it talks about diet and exercise, prenatal vitamins. If a typical lunch before you got pregnant consists of a candy bar, with you want to do something with low calories, daily prenatal vitamins that you would need. It has iron, vitamin A, vitamin D, the zinc, the calcium, all of the folic acid, prenatal. Just get prenatal vitamins, minerals, and different things that you would need. And you want to eat like more healthy foods like fruits and vegetables, non-fat dairy, whole grains, lean meats, safe fish to eat. And then it has another thing for that. So you just have to. You probably want to get one for your doctor, and just eat more fruits and vegetables. Scientists have discovered that you just want to be safe. Folic acid is known as fol. It is vitamin B. It's found in such breakfast cereal, leafy greens, orange juice, black beans, asparagus, spinach, multivitamins. Okay, now it talks about smoking and the use of alcohol. They said with smoking, it robs the development of the baby oxygen, so that wouldn't be good for to do any smoking or alcohol during pregnancy. And it talks about like obesity, people being at risk for miscarriage. So you just want to be extra careful if you're obese. Maybe you could do like diet or even do like yogurt or just be extra careful with that. And this still on week 4, week 5. Um, you get bigger breasts. It talks about you get bigger breasts with week 5. And what else? You may have like urinating problems um, with the 5th week too. High fever. Um, with the urinary problems, that may be from fibroids, may be responsible for like miscarriages, and like if they grow outside of your wall or your uterus. So you just have to be careful all the way around with different things. They said something about like morning sickness. It's probably best for like to lay down or different things, or you could just Google too um, on how to do. And this is with still on week 5. Reading your calorie totals, your activity level, and you want to be just read the labels on everything, on the calories, just to be careful with everything that you intake and making sure that everything is good. And this is still with week 5, week 6, um, foods that work for you, surviving morning sickness. You should drink at least 64 ounces of fluids a day, equal up to 8 glasses of water. So you want to make sure you have your juices and waters. And you want to be kind of careful with the sodas and the sugar that you intake. And this is 6 weeks home birth, practicing what you're gonna do, where your birth is gonna birthplace options, home births, birth centers, hospitals. I guess getting everything together with that. And then they talk about too, they have another thing of being in danger with the baby with secondhand smoke. So you don't want to be around nobody that smokes. But with the 6 week, you're preparing on the birthplace options, which I just told you guys. That diet and exercise. um, Make sure you have all the calcium and the protein power that you need. Same way what I was saying, what it was saying earlier about having your vitamins, but they talking about like you should have like 1,000 with the calcium, and then making sure that you eat your still be eating your vegetables, your fruits and veggies. And that is still on week 6. And week 7, starting to feel pregnant, mood swings, yeast infection. So you want to be, prepared for that. Doubting yourself about motherhood. Starting an exercise program. Your weight with your blood, it should be at 4 pounds. Your breast 2 pounds. Your uterus 2 pounds. The baby could be from 7 to 5 pounds. And the fluids 2 pounds. Fat, proteins, and nutrients 7 pounds. To retrain water 4 pounds. And so it talks. So you want to have a start an exercise program. They have different programs. What you could do when you're pregnant. Say something about manicures and pedicures. They are great way instrument, like to go to the get a manicure or a pedicure or facial or makeover. So that'll be a good thing too. But starting an exercise program, diet programs, just within the 7 weeks. And then now it talks about like sexual transmitted diseases, how you still want to protect yourself. You still could be at risk with your health, if you like have like different diseases, and how you still have to protect yourself. Scheduling regular checkups at 8 weeks, and cold, flu, allergy remedies for that. And they talks about hazards and chemicals and iron radiation laboratories are not great. It's a great risk for miscarriages, so you don't want to do any kind of things while you're pregnant with radiations, chemical, lead, or anything like that. And this is like the 8th week. And you need double your iron. And then it talks about you may have like weird dreams, work stress, with standing for a long time. That may not be good. Or like health concerns. That's why you want to kind of be with your doctor, getting information for your doctor for different things. With the chemical, household cleaning supply. May have to even be careful with changing the cat litter, garden. If you're doing any kind of garden work, you just want to be careful with different things, parasites, and eating uncooked meat or unwashed fruit and vegetables. Don't rub your eyes with preparing your food. Just have to be careful like all the way around. It could be a risk. This is 8 weeks, 9 weeks. Sore nipples is a case. Get your tests like for common prenatal lab tests, blood type, HR factor. Get tested for different pep tests. You still want to just be careful all the way around, even at 9 weeks. They saying how if you're 35 years or older, that could be at risk too. They, about everything is at risk. Just have to be careful all the way around, I would say. Diet and exercise, vitamin C, fruits and vegetables. Still talking about the fruits and vegetables, but you could do the exercise program, and that's 9 weeks. Constipation, pelvis health, back pain. None of your clothes fit. And this is the 10th week, but none of your clothes, your hair, and your skin. And this is 9th week. say fish when make sure you and it has like talk about spider veins with pregnancy, with diet and exercise. They talk about like I guess the right fish to eat. And this is the 10th week. Artificial sweetener, that wouldn't be good. So you probably would want to do honey. And the 11th week, worries about your appearance, your aching pelvis. So this is where I will stop at. Your low sex drive, migraines, and this is the 11 weeks. So we'll stop it right here, and then we'll come back and it has like a different. We'll talk about the dieting for that